Hey y'all, it's a beautiful day at the beaches of Stafford Gloss. Just coming to you from South Beach, Miami. Last video I got into some of the dark side I had that where I was involved with alcohol, and I had become, I don't deny I was a full-blown alcoholic. I still don't. Alcoholics are always alcoholics. And so this video, and that kind of opened the door for me to try to help people, because if you are in a situation where you are at a dark side, and that means you can be addicted to alcohol, you can be addicted to sex, you can be addicted to drugs, or you are broke. You just can't make ends meet from one week to the next. You're living paycheck to paycheck. And going into a story of someone who I've been through a lot of stuff, and I come from an era that's a lot different than most people are involved with today. And today it's like I want to start out and explain drug addiction, and it was a recreational thing for me. When I started, I was in 9th grade when I first started smoking marijuana. And that progressed until, I could never quit smoking marijuana until my mid-30s, I guess, or so. And it was one of those things I loved it. Every day. It's a Willie Nelson thing where, marijuana is not a thing that, back then. Plus, the marijuana was a lot less strong, than it is today. But that's how it started. And then when I got into college, well, actually, I was still in high school. We started doing chemical drugs, mushrooms. I did my first, we did mescaline. God, and that mescaline, I swear to God, that was the most eye-opening experience for me I ever imagined, because I was hallucinating so bad that and my whole objective was to try to see that it wasn't that bad of a thing. It wasn't that potent, but it was unbelievable. And it didn't bother me. It just opened up my mind to different ways of looking at things. And then, we got into LSD. We did a lot of that in college, and that was the era. We were party schools. I actually partied with Jack Ford. Jack Ford went to Utah State, where I went, and that was President Ford's son. And he partied. We would go to these parties, and that's what they were. They were chemical parties, and we had so much fun. It was like back in those days, and AIDS wasn't a thing back then. So being with women was just a free-for-all. We had so much fun because you didn't have to worry about STD diseases. It was like it was a whole different era. But at the same time, drugs flowed like unbelievably. And then we eventually all got into cocaine, and cocaine was the most wonderful thing in the world. And to this day, I still can't deny that I just love cocaine. Cocaine, it was just such a wonderful way. And the reason, that I can say that, because I had situations where I was doing so much of this stuff that I was selling it so that I didn't ever have to pay for it. So it became a thing where, I always had it. I always had marijuana, I always had cocaine, I always had all that stuff, because I was selling enough of it that I could do as much as I wanted. The thing with me was, I was able to not do it on demand, which is, like I said with alcohol, I was, when I cold turkeyed and quit, I did something where somehow I was able to put it in my mind that I didn't desire it, and it took a long time to get that way, but because I was doing cocaine every day, and I was smoking pot every day. So it was a thing where you can, each individual has their own, ways of handling that stuff, and most people, I can't say, can break that addiction, whether it be alcohol. And alcohol's, to me, a lot worse than cocaine ever was, which to most people it's not. cocaine to most people is like heroin. People that smoke, that do heroin now, you know, they're done. They just can't get done with it. So it's crazy.
Y'all fuck with the wrong person.
And
I don't know what she tripping for, but I didn't do nothing to you, dog.
Don't about your business.
I didn't do nothing to you, dog.
Don't about your business,
Listen, I'm trying to stop the fuck shit.
Take your bitch with you, dumbass hoe.
There we go. There's a little Miami Heat. Miami Heat going on. So anyway.
I'm good.
Go, Neil.
My wallet.
Go with the bitch. Go with the bitches, please. I'm straight.